Hello and welcome to ID 316, People, Planet, and Profit for Fall Semester 2025. The purpose of this video is to get you familiar with the class as it is set up as an online class, and we will not be meeting face to face. So most of my contact with you is going to be in the form of video and or email, unless you stop in my office and have a conversation with me. Of course, as I am on campus and this class is mostly online for availability and convenience more than anything else, you will be able to stop into my office and see me and email me and contact me as needed. So when you open up the course, you will see what is designated of the course. So upcoming assignments will be on the side, so it will look just like any other Canvas course. When we go to the syllabus, you will see information about the class, including there's a full downloadable syllabus and a full downloadable schedule. You can see the schedule of the main topics that we're going to be discussing each week. So we can look at this. You can see what we're going to be discussing each week, when we have large papers due, when fall break is. This is a writing intensive class, so we will have several papers. They are not large papers, but you do have several papers, really just 4 to 6 pages, and we're going to talk about those in a little bit. In this week 1, we're really just talking about the content of the class, and this is really just a background of some vocabulary before we get deep into the textbook readings. Okay. Outside of the syllabus, when you want to find things, where you're going to look is in modules. So modules will be your best place for everything. As you can see, you have all of the resources here. I'm actually going to get rid of that so it's not taking up so much space on the screen. Some general information about me as your instructor. So I am Dr. Amy Pilcher. I am entering my 8th year at Wartburg College, teaching business classes. I have taught this. Normally this is a May term class. I teach it every other year on campus and every other year as a travel class. I'm offering this fall section to help get students through ID courses before there are no longer ID classes starting next year with the rollout of the new general education plan. Okay, so under modules, we're going to get into week 1. So these weeks will start populating. So in a couple of days, week 2 will pop up. So you have that available for next week, and then week 3 will appear. You'll see the film paper stuff that we'll get to, and then information about the final paper. So first, when you look at week 1, you have 2 different assignments. You have a homework assignment, which is 4 to 5 questions about the content of the reading and the lectures that you will want to answer. And then there is a discussion. The content of this class leads itself to very, very good discussions. So I'm asking you to please not treat this like the general discussion board where you're just throwing in things to get it done, and when you reply to your classmates, you're saying, "Good job, I agree with you." In fact, because people will disagree, they'll have different opinions, sometimes very, very strong opinions. I really, really encourage you to get involved deeply in discussions. Yes, there are minimum requirements. I highly encourage you to go above and beyond those minimum requirements and have really great discussions. One, you're going to learn more. You're going to delve deeper into the topics. You're going to have discussions with your classmates. And I'm telling you right now, you are not going to agree on topics. We are going to have topics where people are not going to agree in this class. I do ask that you respect your classmates with your disagreement, but it is okay to disagree with your classmates and say, oh, well, I have a different opinion on that topic, and share that and enter into discussion. I know this is a different format than a face-to-face classroom, but you can still have a lot of really good discussions in an online discussion board format if you are engaged and you do it correctly. I will tell you that if you are having really good discussions and not just, like I said, doing, hey, good job, way to post on time kind of stuff, I will consider dropping homework and paper assignments. But of course, that depends on all of you engaging in the discussions together. I'm not going to drop a final paper just because one or two students is being really great at the discussion boards. So this would be something that you would want to work on as a class. But as I said, highly encouraged. Okay. When you open the overview and to-do list, you'll see what we're going to work on this week. So we have, I introduced myself. I showed you where to find the syllabus. The lecture is going to be an introduction to course concepts. The PowerPoint is available here. If you click here, it will open the PowerPoint. And then these are readings. If you click here, it will take you to an online article. Most of these are online articles. Some are PDFs, but it's going to explain. This is some of the terminology that we're going to be using in the class and in our discussions. And then you'll see the lecture videos for that week. So this is me discussing the PowerPoint and the readings in a lecture format, going through the PowerPoint and talking about them and the various content. So you can watch these right in Canvas, or you can open up to YouTube and watch them on YouTube. So each week will be laid out like this, where you will have the information about the readings that are assigned to you. During this week, we will not be reading from the textbook yet. If you saw my email, you can very much just get copies of the textbook, rental, wherever you can find it for the cheapest. You definitely don't have to have a new book, and you do not need to have Connect or any online homework system. There is another book that you're going to be reading, but I have that in PDF format from the library, and those will be posted in each of the weeks. I don't think we start reading that until week 3. Okay. It's a nonfiction book. The chapters are very short. So it's not like an additional textbook that you'll be reading. Okay. So that's your overview for each week. Go into the overview, read the readings, watch the lecture videos, and then complete your 2 assignments, which are your homework and discussion. When you get into the discussion, the instructions and points breakdown are available in this PDF, but it's really post your response to these questions before Wednesday at midnight, and then reply to your classmates by Sunday at midnight. As I said, I highly encourage you to get in here frequently and have full-blown discussions, because you're going to agree on some things and you're not going to agree on others. And these are really great topics. These topics lead themselves to a great conversation. So I highly encourage that. But please be respectful even when you disagree with your peers. So then I'll talk briefly about the film papers. There are instructions for them. As I said, 4 to 6 pages, typed double spaced. You'll load it into Canvas as a Word document. You should have these 4 sections where first you describe the film, generally talk about what it covers and what the main purpose is. Then you relate the film to class discussions, reading notes, or knowledge. You should then, of course, be following good practice in writing a paper and be citing your sources, cite the reading that it comes from, cite your textbook. You can even cite discussion posts that maybe you shared an article and a discussion post. Or I encourage you to look at other articles, especially current events and different things. Most of these films are documentaries, so they're based on actual information. So you can find additional information on them with a little bit of Googling. So you have your requirements for your rubric here. Then there's a list of films. All of the films listed here are available free. You can see a lot of them are posted on YouTube. I put them in here where you can watch, or they've got YouTube links. There are some, I think all of these are actually, here, where this is one that's available on Peacock and Fandango. One's available on Netflix. I do not expect you to get a Netflix subscription. I'm saying if you already have a Netflix subscription and that's high on your list of something to watch, then when you pick your film, that should be something that you watch. But this is all based on different concepts that we're going to be talking throughout the course. Different businesses, different things like that. Okay. Then you're going to do 3 of those. You're going to watch 3 films and write 3 papers. Okay, same thing. Final paper and presentation instructions. So the final paper is based on you researching a business and how they are interacting with people, profit, and planet, and describing that in a paper. We will discuss at a later date what giving a presentation looks like in an online class, because of course you will not be giving face-to-face presentations during a class time as we're in an online class. That's either going to be you're uploading some kind of media, you make a video, or different alternative ways that you can submit a presentation of what you have researched for your final paper. And as I said earlier, I will consider removing the final paper as a requirement, dependent on active and respectful and really good discussion and engagement in the forums throughout the semester, as this is a writing intensive class. If you have any additional questions or comments, please feel free to reach out to me at any time. You can come in here. Of course, my contact information, my email address, this phone will ring my office. And if you click this link, it will open my calendar and you can schedule to have a meeting with me. There are options to schedule an online meeting or like via Zoom or Teams, or to have a face-to-face meeting at some time in my office. I will say that my office availability is going to be a little erratic for at least the month of September, and part of that is because I have a young puppy that is still being trained, and I need to run home frequently because of that. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, she's going to daycare out at Retrieving Freedom right now at Rock River. And so I'll be on campus all day those days, but on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'll be running home throughout the day to make sure that she's being taken care of, since she is not old enough to stay at home all day. Okay, let's have a great semester, and I'm looking forward to it.